I don't know, we got at least a dozen different deer, but right before I shot him, like 6 or 7 deer come in. We lost kind of count, but we kept scanning, looking around, make sure nothing bigger was coming, but he made the mistake coming back. Just going to talk about a hunt we just recently did, Mike and I, on Thursday, December 10th, on the eastern shore of Maryland. The weather was a little on the warm side. I was a little apprehensive what was going to happen, but we made the decision. Mike and I talked about some different options, and we decided to hunt in a wooded area, about a 3-acre clearing with hardwoods, beech trees and acorn trees. Unfortunately, that morning, we hunted for several, I think about 4.5 hours that morning. Got up to like 65 degrees, the sun come out. Only thing we saw were a bunch of squirrels, and we had 10 turkeys, 2 or 3 of them about the size of a Volkswagen. Some of the biggest turkeys Mike had ever seen. So we decided to take a break, take a rest, refuel, recharge ourselves. And Mike and I took a ride around on this farm. It's a pretty nice farm. We've had it for about 5 years now. Had numerous food plots we've been working on. Was just kind of riding around on one of the ATVs, showing Mike around and getting some ideas of what to do for that afternoon, because we knew we wanted to get set back up between 1 and no later than 2 o'clock. We were seeing some good deer sign, and then finally we come to this one area, and the more I looked at it and run it by Mike, it was a combination of, we had 4 different food sources. We had a little bit of corn, some acorn trees. Unfortunately, a lot of the acorns were pretty much gone, a few beech trees, but there were a few nuts on the ground. But we had about a 4-acre clover field, and about a 2-acre turnip field, open hardwoods that kind of, you could see both fields no problem where we were hunting, plus covering a little bit of the woods. And the way the wind was blowing, where this blind was set up that we were setting in, again, we had a good 80–85% of where the wind was to our favor. So that's what we decided to do. So we got set up about 1:30ish. Things were kind of slow. It was beautiful. Sun was beating down on us through the blind. It was all we could do to keep our eyes focused on what was going on around. We were wanting to take naps, but about 3 o'clock, I think it was, we had the first deer come out, and nice little young button buck, strutting his stuff. Definitely, you could tell he's got some good genes in him. I mean, he was a bad dude of the woods. It was pretty funny. Got some great video of him. And it wasn't long after that we had a doe come out, fed a little while, and then we had 3 or 4 more deer. Before we knew it, we had, I think it was a total of 9, but we had about 9 deer out on us. Everything right out in front of us went to our favor. And as the afternoon went, a couple of deer went in and out, and we got a couple other deer. We had a couple young bucks come out. And then we had, I was kind of like looking to the back side of the blind, and I had Mike looking to the front, and he spotted a buck working the edge of the woods, inside the woods, about 15–20 yards, and probably about 150 yards away from us. Anyhow, we kept an eye on him. Pretty decent deer. And he come out, got some good footage of him. He come out to the clover field, and he fed real hard for about 5 minutes. I mean, he was shoveling it down. And then he went over to another food source and went into the woods and had some other deer. You could tell something was going on back in the woods, and all of a sudden he kind of took off running through the woods, and about 10 minutes later, here he come back chasing a doe, trying to tend her. it was just a beautiful afternoon. Everything was working just right, and then Mike and I decided that, hey, you know, this is a decent deer. I decided I was going to take it, so I waited for Mike to say that he was right with it on the camera, and the deer finally give us, between the camera and Mike and I, the deer presented itself, and I was able to make a decent shot.
Did you get it? Yeah. Yes. You shouldn't have come back.